In this video, we're going to look at how to factorize quadratics. So let's start with a really easy one. The easiest ones are where everything is a plus. Right, now the idea of factorizing is to put things into two brackets. Each time you do this, I want you to think of the reverse process. How do we actually expand a bracket? So let's have a look. Well, normally we get presented with two brackets. In order to get an x squared here, we're going to need an x in each bracket. Now we look at the last term. What are the factors of 10? Well, 10 can be done as 10 times 1 or 5 times 2. So in these two little slots here, we're either going to have a 10 and a 1 or a 5 and a 2. Now, how do we decide? We have a look at this symbol here. As it's a plus, it's telling me I need to add the two together to get 7. Well, only one of these two options is going to work. So I'm going to look at the bottom one because 5 add 2 is 7. So that means my one number is going to be 5, my other number is going to be 2. Now it doesn't matter which bracket you put 5 in and which bracket you put 2 in. Then we've got to think about the signs. Well, because this one's a plus, they must either both be pluses or both be minus, because a plus times a plus is a plus, and a minus times a minus is a plus. Well, the fact that this tells us we want a plus 7 means we need to have an add 5 and an add to another 2. And there we go, I'm done. Let's try one more where it's all plus, and then we'll look at some minuses. X squared add 9x add 20. So let's start the process again. Two brackets are going to be necessary. An x is needed for both. Now, what are the different ways we can get 20? Well, it's 20 times 1. Or it's 5 times 4. Or it's 10 times 2. Which one of these three options adds to give me 9? Well, it must be the 5 and the 4. So 5 goes into one bracket, 4 goes into the other. And because these tell me they have to be the same, and this is a plus, they must both be pluses. And it's factorized. Right, let's try what happens if we get some negatives involved. Life always becomes a little bit trickier if there are negatives. So let's start with a negative as the last. No, let's do the one in the middle. That's slightly easier first. X squared minus 10x plus 24. We're going to start exactly the same way. Two brackets with an x in each. Options for 24. Well, it's 6 4s, 12 2s, 24 1s, and 8 3s. So once again, we have a few options. Now here's the difference. We need to make them add to give us 10. Same as before. Which bunch add to give me 10? It's the top one. Right, 6 and 4. This tells me they're both pluses or they're both minuses. But that's a minus. If I have a plus 6 and a plus 4, that's going to give me plus 10. So how do I get it to be a minus 10? By having minus 6 and minus 4. Let's try another one. So x squared minus 5x plus 6, x and x. This is either 6 and 1 or 3 and 2. They've got to add to give me 5, so it must be 3 and 2. The signs must be the same, so they're both negatives. And we are done.